The city was alive, but something felt off. People walked through streets as usual, but there was an invisible tension in the air. Somewhere, someone was watching, waiting. And tonight, the calm would break. Detective Ayaan had been on the force for 10 years, but he had never seen a case like this. A body had been discovered in the middle of a crowded intersection. No one ran. No one screamed. All eyes were fixed on the envelope taped to the chest. "I am not a killer. I only remind." The words were simple, yet terrifying. The victim was ordinary, an office clerk with no enemies, no criminal record. But the method of death was precise, perfect. It was as if someone wanted a message to be delivered, and only the dead could carry it. Ayaan took in the scene, his mind racing. This was not random. This was planned, deliberate, and the message was only the beginning. 3 days later, a second body was found. Same method, same precision, another envelope. This one read, "I am not a killer, you forgot too." The city buzzed with confusion. Media outlets ran wild with speculation, but no one could explain why these ordinary men were being targeted or what they had done wrong. Ayaan reviewed old files, desperately searching for a connection, and then he found it. Both men had been witnesses in a case that had been buried 10 years ago. A young man, accused of killing his sister, sentenced on circumstantial evidence. The case had closed quickly. The man had died in prison 2 years later. Officially, it was suicide. But the files told a different story, one that hinted at injustice, lies, and silence. Ayaan sat in his office late that night, the weight of the old case pressing down on him. How many others had been complicit? How many had chosen comfort over truth? He could feel it now. The system itself was being held accountable, piece by piece, by someone who had nothing left to lose. A USB drive arrived at his desk the next morning. No return address. Inside, an audio file played the voice of the man who had been dead for years. His words were calm, controlled, almost chilling. "If you're hearing this, it means bodies have already fallen. I did not want to kill. I wanted to remind. The truth buried by silence will always return." Ayaan realized the magnitude of what he was facing. This was not a killer seeking revenge. This was an idea. A system designed to wake the city from a decade of lies, and now he was part of it, whether he wanted to be or not. Over the following weeks, confessions began surfacing online. Lawyers, clerks, officers who had been part of the old case came forward, admitting false testimony, covering up evidence, or remaining silent when they should have spoken. Each confession ended with the same chilling line, "I am not a killer. I only remind." Ayaan followed the trail. Each person revealed another piece of the puzzle, another thread in the web of deception. Some reacted with fear, some with anger. Some could not face the truth at all. But one by one, the city's complicity was exposed. It was then that Ayaan received a direct message. "They are forgetting again." He understood immediately. Another lie, another cover-up, another injustice was about to unfold. The system was moving again, selecting the next targets to remind. Ayaan's role was no longer passive. He had to act. He had to ensure the message was delivered, not through violence, but through awakening. The first confrontation was subtle but effective. A senior lawyer, one of the original witnesses, sat frozen as Ayaan showed him the confession video he had recorded years ago. The lawyer could no longer deny the weight of his silence. "You spoke, and a man died because of it," Ayaan said. "Do you remember now?" The lawyer trembled. He had built his life on convenience and ignorance, but he could not escape the truth. Ayaan left him staring at the files, powerless to undo the past. One by one, others were confronted. Judges, clerks, even reporters were forced to face their own choices. Shame, anger, and fear rippled through the system, but truth prevailed. For the first time in a decade, the city could not pretend ignorance was innocence. Then came the final message. Not through email, not through USB, but through a live stream. The voice was unmistakable. Calm, authoritative, yet distant. Ilyas Rahman, the man whose life had been destroyed, speaking from beyond the grave. "You have done well," the voice said, "but the work is never finished. Lies will always try to take root again. Someone will always forget. The city will always need reminding." Ayaan listened, realizing that the idea, the system Ilyas had designed, was was more powerful than any individual. It would continue to expose lies, reveal complicity, and force accountability long after everyone involved was gone. Months later, the city felt subtly different. People questioned old assumptions, revisited decisions, and hesitated before choosing silence. The message had spread, and Ayaan had become more than a detective. He was a guardian of truth, a witness to the system, and a reminder to the city itself. Walking through quiet streets at night, Ayaan carried the envelope that had started it all. Inside were the recordings, the confessions, the plans. He understood now that the weight of memory was not a burden. It was a weapon against ignorance, against complacency. Rain began to fall, soft and steady. Ayaan looked up, realizing that the system, the idea, and Ilyas's mission were still alive, moving through the city like a pulse. The city would continue to forget, continue to lie, and continue to fail, but there would always be someone to remind them. And in that understanding, Ayaan finally found peace.